1. Understanding addiction through the electrical analogy. Addiction can be thought of as a dynamic system where behavior, consumption of alcohol, is influenced by various internal and external factors. The goal here is to understand how incentives, barriers, and internal capacities interact, and how these elements can be adjusted to influence behavior positively. 2. Mapping electrical concepts to addiction. Here's how we might translate the key elements of an electrical circuit into the context of alcohol addiction. Voltage. V as desire or urge to drink. Electrical perspective. Voltage is the driving force that causes current to flow through a circuit. Addiction analogy. Voltage represents the urge or desire to consume alcohol, driven by factors like stress, social cues, or cravings. When the urge is high, it drives the behavior, drinking. Factors that increase this voltage might include stress, social pressure, boredom, or withdrawal symptoms. Urge to drink. We urge to drink. Current. I as drinking behavior. Electrical perspective. Current is the flow of electric charge, driven by voltage and opposed by resistance. Addiction analogy. Current represents the actual behavior, i.e., the act of consuming alcohol. Higher current means more frequent or intense drinking. When the urge to drink, voltage, is high and resistance, barriers to drinking, is low, the drinking behavior, current, is more likely to occur. Drinking frequency or intensity. I drinking frequency or intensity. Resistance. R as barriers to drinking. Electrical perspective. Resistance opposes the flow of current, making it harder for current to flow for a given voltage. Addiction analogy. Resistance can represent barriers or deterrents to drinking, such as personal willpower, support systems, negative consequences of drinking, or availability of alternative coping mechanisms. Higher resistance means that even if the urge to drink, voltage, is strong, it becomes more difficult to act on that urge. Barriers to drinking, willpower, support. Are barriers to drinking, willpower, support. Ohm's law is equal to V is equal to IR as the addiction behavior model. Electrical perspective. Ohm's law describes the relationship between voltage, current, and resistance. Addiction analogy. This suggests that the frequency or intensity of drinking, current, depends on the strength of the urge to drink, voltage, and the strength of barriers to drinking, resistance. Drinking behavior is equal to urge to drink, barriers to drinking. Drinking behavior is equal to barriers to drinking, urge to drink. This means that reducing the urge or increasing barriers can both reduce drinking behavior. 3. Modeling strategies for breaking addiction. To use this model to break the cycle of alcohol addiction, we can focus on either reducing the voltage, urge to drink, or increasing the resistance, barriers to drinking. Reducing the urge to drink. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. This method can help change the thoughts and feelings that trigger the urge to drink by addressing the emotional and psychological factors behind the urge. The voltage can be reduced. Stress management. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, and exercise can reduce overall stress levels, leading to a lower urge to drink. Social support. Encouragement from friends, family, or support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous can provide alternative sources of emotional fulfillment, reducing the urge to rely on alcohol. Less drinking behavior. VI. Less drinking behavior. Increasing the barriers to drinking. R. Creating environmental barriers. Making alcohol less accessible by removing it from the home or avoiding places where it is served can increase resistance. Building personal willpower. Strengthening the ability to resist the urge through therapy, motivational interviewing, or other personal development strategies increases resistance. Focus on consequences. Acknowledging the negative impacts of drinking, health, relationships, finances, can make the perceived resistance stronger, as the person weighs the costs against the benefits. Less drinking behavior. RI. Less drinking behavior. Increasing capacitance. C. As emotional resilience. Electrical perspective. A capacitor stores energy and releases it when needed, acting as a buffer. Addiction analogy. Capacitance can represent emotional resilience or coping strategies, allowing a person to absorb stress or emotional challenges without turning to alcohol. Developing resilience through hobbies, support networks, or healthy coping mechanisms, example exercise, creative activities, helps a person store emotional energy and use it during tough times. Is equal to emotional stability is equal to times ability to handle urges. Q is equal to CV. Emotional stability is equal to C times ability to handle urges. Higher capacitance means that even when the urge, voltage, spikes, the person can manage it better without turning to drinking. Addressing inductance. L as the time to change behavior. Electrical perspective. Inductance represents inertia in a circuit where changes in current are resisted. Addiction analogy. This can represent the time it takes to change drinking behavior after interventions are applied. The process of changing habits can be slow, especially if the behavior is deeply ingrained. Being patient and allowing time for new behaviors to take root is important. Relapse prevention strategies can help reduce the inductance, ensuring that positive changes take hold more quickly. Is equal to time to change. Level of addiction. V. L is equal to L. dt. The time to change level of addiction. Lowering inductance through consistent support and gradual behavior changes can make it easier for a person to adapt to a new, alcohol-free lifestyle. Fourth, practical application. Designing a support plan. Using this model, a plan to help someone reduce alcohol consumption might look like this. Step 1. Reduce voltage, urges. Engage in counseling to address emotional triggers. Practice stress reduction techniques like meditation. Replace drinking with positive activities. Example, joining a sports group. Step 2. Increase resistance, barrier. Remove alcohol from immediate environments. Build a support network that holds the individual accountable. Set up reminders of the negative consequences of drinking. Example, notes about health risks. Step 3. Build capacitance, emotional resilience. Develop hobbies and interests that provide emotional satisfaction. Focus on physical health through exercise, which boosts mood. Join a support group to create a safe space for expressing challenges. Step 4. Be mindful of inductance, adaptation time. Set realistic goals for reducing drinking gradually. Monitor progress and celebrate small wins to encourage further change. Use relapse prevention strategies to handle setbacks. Conclusion: a framework, not a solution. This analogy offers a structured way to think about addiction, but it's crucial to remember that breaking an addiction is a complex, deeply personal process that often requires professional guidance. The model can help identify areas to focus on, reducing urges, increasing barriers, building resilience, but each person's journey is unique. Applying these concepts can help in designing a support plan, understanding the dynamics of change, and emphasizing the need for patience and persistence. If this analogy can help even a little in visualizing the path to recovery, then it's a valuable tool in the broader effort to support someone overcoming addiction.